versus Ashland Lady Arrows.
It's ladies' night here inside of Pete Henry Gym, where OCC rivals are about to take center stage for a Thursday night girls high school basketball showcase in the city of Mansfield. It's the TY Tigers of Senior High taking on Ashland, live and free exclusively on the OH Report, and it's coming your way next.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality. We've got some Arrows and Tigers battling for a much-needed conference win tonight at Mansfield Senior High. Both teams looking to end some early season slumps with a successful performance here tonight on the hardwood. Good evening, folks, and welcome to fabulous Pete Henry Gymnasium and the beautiful campus of Mansfield Senior High School. My name is Brian Skoronsky. I'll be joined in a few moments by Mansfield Christian head coach, assistant coach, I should say, John Mark Young. But we're talking about two young teams here, both still trying to learn how to win. I had an opportunity before the game to speak with both head coaches. Let's begin with the first-year coach for Ashland. Take it away, Renee Stimpert. I've got first-year head coach with me from the Ashland Arrows, Renee Stimpert, and we traded an email today. Maybe not getting out of your team what you would like in terms of wins and losses, but you feel like you got a young squad who's coming along. What do you like from what you've seen from your team so far?
They're growing every day. I think that's one thing I really like. They get in the gym, they're competitive, they have heart. Just working on the little details, the fundamentals. We'll get there, but it'll be a slow process.
You were a bit of a legendary player yourself back in your high school days, a record setter at Ashland University. What is the most challenging part for you as somebody who's really talented at this game, trying to pass that on to some younger girls?
I knew coming into coaching the hardest thing would be going from a player to coach. I would just want to get out there and do it myself. That's what I did at Crestview, that's what I did at Ashland. And kind of making that transition and teaching what I've learned at Crestview and Ashland and implementing it into my girls. And just that competitive spirit that you don't want to win, you hate to lose. So that's the biggest thing.
All right. Thanks a lot, Renee. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Any of you Crestview Cougars fans out there probably remember what a standout she was, an All-Ohioan and a national champion for Ashland University. Also had a chance to talk with Javar Hudgens, now in his second season with Mansfield Senior. Let's take a look at that interview.
All right, I've got Javar Hudgens with me now, second-year coach for the Mansfield TY Tigers, and hasn't really gone your way in terms of wins and losses this year, but it's been a very challenging season for you guys, especially in quarantine for a couple of weeks. You've had very few practices under your belt. What have you liked, though, so far from your young team up to this point in the journey?
The fight. They showed that they're ready to play. They're just young and inexperienced, but they fight. They fight. No give up in them. They're going to be good going down the road. We're starting to click a little bit. We're starting to gel. I think we're going to be fine.
And I know, of course, you would love to get that first win of the season here tonight. What are the keys to victory for you guys?
Defend. Just defend in the half court and make some free throws. Hit some free throws today and make some layups. Defend in the half court. Limit them from scoring, and we can win the game.
All right, Coach. We'll find out here in a couple of minutes if you can make that happen.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you can tell from listening to both of those coaches, still trying to figure things out. Two younger head coaches, and in particular Renee, basically fresh out of college, trying to take over the reins here as the head varsity coach of a high school team. Certainly is not easy. Talked to her a little bit about her passion for the game, and she felt like even as a young player, always wanted to go into coaching, just didn't know what level it would be at. Thought probably it would be at the collegiate game, beginning as an assistant and try to work her way up the ladder, but took a job in the Ashland school system where she is a social studies teacher for 5th and 6th graders, and just decided that it was a good fit for her when she was offered the job and couldn't pass it up. So Renee, so far, just one win for her on the season, that coming at Worcester back in mid-December. Had a lot of tough losses along the way. Other than that, been blown out a bunch, but she does have a young squad that she feels like is progressing each and every week. Feels like they're taking some steps and are going to be mixing things up in terms of the starting lineup tonight. And for Mansfield Senior, boy, you want to talk about a team that is loaded with young talent, but just has not been able to put together a victory up to this point as of yet. Yeah, imagine it's got to be coming. Could even be as early as tonight, because this Tigers team has a stud freshman class. They've got a lot of young players out here that certainly make you smile. They can turn up the energy defensively, which is what Javar said that they really need to do here tonight in order to be victorious and knock off the arrows, complemented by some of these seniors out here. A few of them transfers, or not transfers, girls that go to Mansfield St. Peter's, but they are not offering basketball this season. So certainly Coach Hudgens has benefited from having the likes of Julia Rizzo come over, along with Amani Mitchell and then Kaya Wentz. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for both teams, as I see my man John Mark making his way up here to the announcer's table with me. So we'll welcome him in just a minute. But I talked about these girls from St. Peter's, really big difference makers for Mansfield Senior. 3 of them in the starting lineup. And then on the other side, Brenna Plank, Clara Paramore, Kaylee Friesen, Audra McBride, and Kaylee Beverly are the starters tonight for the Ashland Arrows. And mixing things up a little bit, Beverly only averaging about 8 minutes per contest so far as a senior, breaking into the starting lineup for the first time all year and breaking into the announcer's booth on the OH Report, making his debut tonight. John Mark Young joining me right now, and I know that you're definitely familiar with a few of these girls playing for Mansfield Senior who are going to Mansfield St. Peter's. What's your thoughts on what you know about the Tigers, what you've seen of them this year? Obviously a really young team, but they got some gifted young players.
Yeah, Brian, first off, thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here with the OH Report. We have some of the best local sports people, including yourself, the CEO of the OH Report and BS Media. We got great guys like Jake Furr, the Mansfield News Journal. So we got some great local people, and I'm just happy to do my part and be a part of it. Yes, the Mansfield Senior Tigers got the gift that every one of us coaches asked for, which is give me gifted players that just drop into my program, with Kaya Wentz and Julia Rizzo coming in for the Lady Spartans to the Tigers. We scrimmaged the Tigers earlier this year. They're a physical team. They play with a lot of power and a lot of gusto. And those two St. Pete's girls add a nice finesse that I'm sure Coach Hudgens appreciates with this team. So I'm looking forward to see, they just started playing last week, Senior High did. So meshing all those girls together after a big delay and sit down. I know talking to Coach Hudgens a week ago, he said that's the tough part, is getting these girls to play together. But when they will, look out, I think they can make some moves.
That's all they need, I think, is just a few more experiences on the floor, game action together. When Mansfield has actually been able to play some games, they've been close. 2 tight losses for them last week that we had here on the OH Report, both coming here at home, where they just couldn't hold on late against Clear Fork, and then they had a win basically in their grasp against Mount Vernon before a big fourth quarter run by the Jackets ended up knocking off the Tigers. So they've been on the doorstep. And for Javar now in his second year, you too over at Mansfield Christian, still in the early portion of getting your program set up the way that you like it, getting the players accustomed to you and how you run things. What do you think are the biggest challenges for him, and then also certainly for Renee Stimper in her first year at Ashland?
Yeah, when you're starting to build a program, of course, you're implementing all these new things, new offense, new defense. You're trying to get a mentality that you want, whatever your identity is as a coach, to these players. And that you think, well, that happens overnight. No, it doesn't. I mean, it is a process of really getting these girls to get bought into your program, seeing success with it, and that's the hallmark of a young team, right? Learning to win games, and that's what Coach Huggins will get them there. They got an incredibly talented freshman class here, and so I'm excited to see how they take it.
Tigers win the tip, and here's a couple of those Lady Spartans that have been difference makers, but probably the most exciting young player on the team, sporting number 1, Manetta Hillary, just a freshman, but boy, does she have some handles. Great fun energy that she brings to the floor. Just got to start putting it together, and she's got the first 2 of the night here on the floater.
Yeah. So Coach Stimper came out with man-to-man offense against the Tigers, and the Tigers a little bit of a press, but Ashland's able to beat that pretty easily. Gets a easy bucket, no good.
Shot inside off the mark there from Kaylee Friesen, senior forward, and it's going to be Mansfield Senior basketball.
Kaylee Friesen's a longtime player for Ashland, played on some AAU teams with some of our players, and she's a baller.
So the Tigers looking to go 2 possessions, 2 scores here as they work it inside, and here's Rizzo. Gets bumped. She's going to go to the free throw line. It's going to be the first foul against Ashland, and it's going to go against Brina Plank.
Yeah, so Julia Rizzo last year sat out all year with a knee injury. So as an opponent, we appreciated that, getting a little break from her because she can play. Nice inside action there. And first free throw is up and no good.
So Rizzo still trying to get her legs back under her, as Jean-Marc mentioned. Didn't get an opportunity to play last season with a knee injury. But she's back out here, and a nice versatile player for the Tigers. She's got good size and length and can play inside and outside for them.
Yeah, you see some of these players, they don't look like they're post players, but they play like they're post players, and she's one of those players.
Ashland not going to get it across the timeline. 10-second violation. Plank was about a shoestring away from getting both feet over, but it's going to be a turnover and possession back over to Mansfield.
Good press there by Senior High to have that turnover. A lot of times the turnover on a press doesn't happen because of a bad pass. It's just they just can't get the ball across, and that's when you know you got a good press, is they literally can't even find the pass at the half court.
Here's Mitchell backing her way in. Spin move, left hand, too strong. Rebound to Rizzo, but poked away backside. And the Arrows come up with the rock. Going to get an equipment timeout. Something out onto the floor there.
So maybe a headband or something came out of one of the girls' hair.
So after a hair tie timeout, we are back into action. Arrows still looking for their first points. Just about 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. And that was a nice drive by Plank all the way to the rim, and the scoop shot is pure off the window. Hillary, nice around the back. Pull-up jumper. Good.
Doesn't play like a freshman out there with those handles. Turnover by the Arrows. Hillary back with the ball at the three-point line. Across to Kaya Wentz, out to Rizzo with a three. Little, way short.
And the rebound to the Arrows, pulled down by Beverly. Nearly a travel, but the Arrows back inside. Nice look, kick out short corner, and Plank rimmed out. Mitchell secures the board, but she's going to get tied up. Jump ball. Possession arrow going to stay down at this end. Tigers going to their bench early, going to get in a pair of subs. Telena Gross, the junior, into the mix, along with Kirsten Bradley, another one of those stud freshmen. Versatile inside-outside player, as that one overshot by Paramore. And out of bounds, possession arrow to the Tigers.
So no press here by Ashland. They're going to let him bring the ball up. They're going to keep their first defender on Kaya Wentz a little bit high, but nothing there.
Here's Rizzo, nice turn inside. Missed it. A little bit too strong with the shot attempt. So Ashland with a chance to pull within a point or even tie here with a three-pointer. Over a double team, too strong from Friesen. Arrows, though, with another opportunity. Plank, three ball. Almost missed everything. But two offensive rebounds here on this possession for Ashland, and they're going to slow things down now.
Nothing will make a coach have more of a duck fit than giving up too many offensive rebounds in a row. That's frustrating, but ball just bounced right to the Arrows both times.
Now a foul against Mansfield Senior. It's going to go against Wentz. First team foul on the Tigers. There's two total so far tonight. And there's Wentz doing some more work, trying to disrupt things, jumping in the passing lane.
Almost stolen by the Tigers. Back to Ashland. Thought about a three. Good defense by Kaya there. Ooh, got it right inside, and easy bucket past Rizzo. Rizzo got beat on the inside there.
Kaylee Friesen with the bucket. Pulls the Arrows within a point. But here comes Hillary backside, gets it to Rizzo, kick out to Wentz. Three ball is up and is good, and that's something that she has been bringing to the table all season long. Kaya Wentz from outside, that's her sixth three-pointer of the season.
Yeah, like a good point guard, sitting at the top of the key and just got the pass wide open and didn't hesitate, took that shot.
Kaya shooting 50% from beyond the arc so far on the campaign. And, boy, that's always got to make a coach smile when you can shoot that high of a percentage and get those 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah, she's extremely skilled, both as a ball handler and as a shooter.
Offensive rebound inside and the putback to Kaya White, who just checked in, senior forward. Typically a starter for them and arguably their best defensive player.
Good post move there.
Yeah,
2 points.
Switching to the left hand, and Plank did some work against Bradley.
Good help side defense there by Ashland.
And then Gross off the baseline drive, had it tipped out. Tried to thread the needle to White. So it'll be Hillary to trigger.
Out to Kaya. Kaya Wentz.
Nice look
Good
inside.
looking.
Yeah, White
Strong off the glass, rebound to Ashland, so it's one and done for the Tigers with their 4-point cushion. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. That one's going to splash home. Rainbow three from Friesen finds its home.
Not extremely fast there, but good transition offense there. Got a quick shot, good look for Friesen, and it's the arrows in this game.
Pulls Ashland back within one as Hillary sizes up the defender. This time the floater is short, and Ashland again does a nice job of securing the defensive board. Playing tough pass, picked off by Gross.
You can hear Coach Huggins telling him, go, 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 go. He knows they've got the athletic ability to push this game, and he wants them to go a little faster here.
They definitely have two guards out on the floor that at any given time can take it, that and Hillary and Wentz, and push the pace.
Yeah.
So the freshman Bradley stepping up to the free throw line for the first time tonight. The niece of head football coach Chioke Bradley and daughter of former All-Ohio football player Maurice Bradley. So some of the bloodlines on this Tigers team goes way back. They certainly have a lot of parents that were some standouts here for senior high in the past.
We'll get going here with a little bit of senior high Lady Tigers trivia I got for you, Brian, a little bit later in the game.
Already looking forward to that, John Mark.
That's right.
So Bradley splits the pair. Arrows with a chance to tie here. Great move inside, and it'll fall for Serena Miller.
Beautiful post move. In and back out. Put up a straight shot and got it. There goes Kaya to work. Nice floater. Got it in.
I like it. Kaya Wentz taking matters into her own hands on that possession. No passes and 2 points for the Tigers. They're going to go back inside looking for Serena to do some work. This time she draws a double team. Foul is going to go against TY.
They're talking over whether that was elbow to the face and whether anything more than a common foul.
This one probably could go either way. Mansfield was getting pretty aggressive with the reach in, but certainly the bows were swinging there for Miller. And it will go against Serena Miller. Offensive foul. Rizzo's checking back in. Bradley going back over to the bench. They're playing a few solid minutes here for Mansfield. And it looks like the referee is just giving Coach Stimpert his perception of why that was an offensive foul. Was the hold up there? White lost her footing. She tried to go without the basketball. Able to recover nicely, though. Gets it to Rizzo.
Good post move, Rizzo. Couldn't drop it.
Yeah, tough shot there. She switched it to the left after a series of up fakes. Now it's Ashland on the penetration. Under a minute to go, and is this going to be a jump ball or is this going to be a foul on Gross? Looked like a whole lot of ball.
Yeah, it did look like all ball, but he called a foul on her.
See if we can get a replay on that. Talena definitely looked like she got 5 fingers on the rock.
Coach Huggins is arguing his case, but to no avail.
And I don't know that I've ever seen an official turn over a call, John Mark, so it feels good to argue, but it never really gets you anywhere.
Yeah, you've got to find that fine line between getting the referees to like you and not make calls against you and pleading your case when it needs to be pled. And I think Coach Huggins did a good job there, respectful, and pled his case, but didn't matter anyway. Both free throws missed.
That's right. Lily Poole, though, with an offensive rebound, but then Ashland throws it away. I believe it was Emma Bell with the pass that was off target. And with just 47 seconds.
Now they got a little bit of ball pressure on Kaya, but she's able to break it.
We'll see how quickly Mansfield elects to shoot here. Pretty quick as Gross got inside all the way to the cup. Missed it, though. And then the rebound to Bell. Here comes Paramore. Draws a double team. White almost took it from her. And now Poole's going to get fouled out on the perimeter. Mitchell, I believe, is going to pick up the personal. Jafar, you see over there pleading his case for a travel. As it's the third team foul now against the Tigers. Paramare to the corner. 3-ball. Comes up short from Bell. Tipped out. And it'll be Mansfield Senior basketball.
Two St. Pete's transfers talking to each other there. A lot of times they've made that connection. Rizzo to Wentz.
And Kaya gets fouled there from the backside. Third team foul against the Lady Arrows now. Not a good pass by Rizzo. Fortunate that Gross was able to make the heads-up play. As we're down to just 7 seconds. Rizzo inside. Pulls it out, down to 4. The runner, too strong off the board. Rebound by Mitchell, up at the horn, and it's off the mark. So that'll take us to the end of 8 minutes of action where Mansfield Senior holds a slim 13-11 lead. You're watching live and free high school basketball exclusively on the OH Report.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Second quarter action ready to begin here inside of Pete Henry Gymnasium, where right now it's the home team on top, 13-11. Mansfield Senior with a slim lead over the visiting Ashland Arrows. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined tonight by John Mark Young, and we've got a traveling violation.
Senior Brianna Perry, she's one of the few elder statesmen here. I remember watching her for a few years now. Post player for the Tigers.
And I believe just returning to the lineup. Wasn't available for Mansfield last week, so Brianna probably still trying to get her conditioning back and just get a feel for the game, as that's a great look. But an air ball on the shot attempt by Paramore. Rebounded, though, by Ashland, and 2 shots, 2 air balls here for the Lady Arrows. Perry off the pass, intercepted. Bell back the other way, coast to coast, and blew it. Tie up, though, Friesen going for the rebounds.
Yeah, probably one of the most frustrating things for Coach Stimpert is she played for a good high school team over at Crestview and obviously for the AU Eagles, and just getting that skill level back up, which I'm sure she's doing, but can't miss those bunnies.
Definitely takes time, and she said that she likes jumping in the drills with her kids to check them a little bit. You know, John
Yes.
Mark, make sure they don't get too confident.
I'm not going to lie, Brian. That is, if you gave me a top 5 list of coaching, that's 1 or 2 is getting in those drills.
Off the block shot, Hillary back the other way. Stop, pop, won't drop, though. And Brown fighting for the rebound.
you've got to think playing against somebody like that in a drill, somebody that was a high-level collegiate point guard, set records for AU, that's going to get them right pretty quick. Good ball movement there by Ashland. Quick shot. Oh, good.
Back iron, secured on the rebound by Brown, who looks to push it ahead, but ill-advised pass came up well short, intercepted by Bell. Turnovers weren't that big of a problem for Mansfield, just 5 in the first quarter, 7 for Ashland. And this looks like it's going to be a shooting foul here. So Bell's going to step to the free throw line.
Yeah, Brian, we always tell our girls 20 or more a game and you're running. So if you can keep them under 5 a quarter, 20 is not great, but it's enough to keep the game winnable. Any more than that, and you're given, especially with these good guards that senior high has, you're giving them a lot of looks at the basket on fast breaks when they're stealing, that they'll hit those. They won't miss many of those.
It's a great point. Oftentimes it's not so much the turnover that kills you, it's the end result of the transition game that can transpire going back the other way. And
there we got to see a little bit of that transition with Kaya and Hillary together.
Great 1-2 punch, and I'm sure Coach Hudgens would love to have Kaya for the long run because just a sophomore and Moneta is a freshman, of course. So these two having a good time playing with each other this season. Not sure what the future will hold, but I can tell you that that's good for 3 points right there by Kaylee Friesen, the senior, coming up big and gives Ashland their first lead of the night.
Yeah, just a clutch shot from a clutch player there. Coach Stimpert's going to be looking to get the ball in her hands more in this game, I'm sure.
She has been arguably their most dominant player this year, averaging close to double-figure scoring and rebounding on the season.
And nothing more I'd love to see than a guard going down and putting a nice post move to finish. Hillary wasn't able to finish it, but she did a nice up and under and got the ball into the paint, just wasn't able to finish it.
And in time, you imagine she'll continue to develop and just get better and better. A lot of fans of the OH report, I'm sure, remember her older brother, Quan Hillary, who put on some shows for us his last 2 years of high school and was a kid that got playing time as a sophomore, but certainly took the next step year after year, and you imagine Moneta is going to be the same way. I'm told she's a total gym rat, just loves the game of basketball. But right now the Tigers not loving the defensive boards.
No.
Ashland killing them.
Yeah, there was all Ashland there. They had every Tiger player boxed out on the offense or the as an offensive set there, and that's no good.
Take a quick look at the stats here. Our new intern, KP Peace, tracking it for us. And how many offensive rebounds do we have Ashland for so far? 6 offensive boards so far, and when you can get those extra looks, Arrows haven't done a good job of finishing them.
Yeah.
But if they can eventually, John Mark, you know, that's huge, of course.
Yeah, it's basic common sense, but obviously when you get the ball back under your own hoop, if you can go right back up with it, those are easy buckets, and Ashland just hasn't done a good job of getting those back in, but you got to think they will at some point here.
Haven't done very good work at the foul line either up to this point, so the Arrows certainly, you know, leaving some crumbs on the table.
Yeah, you got to think that Coach Huggins is thinking, you know, this has got to be a game we've got to get. Another close one that, you know, is right in their graphs, and so.
Certainly a long way to go here, but both teams pretty even up to this point, and it just has all the makings of a game that's going to come down to the final minutes in the fourth quarter, which has not treated Mansfield well up to this point. But now that they got a few games under their belt, they've been practicing, they got some more continuity. You imagine the Tigers will do a better job of finishing when it gets to crunch time, especially here at home tonight.
So let's go with a little senior high trivia while we've got our refs on the court there. So, let's see, Skowronski, if you can guess the last time that the senior high Lady Tigers were in the Final Four down in Columbus. Senior high Lady Tigers, Final Four.
Wow, I'm trying to cheat, looking all around the gym for some banners, and that's not something that they do here at Pete Henry. Nothing hanging up in the rafters. So it's going to have to be a total guess on my part, and I'm going to assume it's been a hot minute. I personally have not covered a very successful Mansfield Senior team. I'm going to go back to the 70s. I'm going to say 1974, John Mark.
That would be a good guess. 1984 was the year I was born, and so that's 10 years forward. And I bring myself into this to say that the last time the Lady Tigers went to the Final Four was 2002, 2003, my senior year. We had an amazing point guard back then, much like Hillary and Kaya Wentz, Kania Williams, who could just about do anything. Our junior high coach for our program was one of the assistant coaches here at senior high at that time, John Beasley. And the Lady Tigers went down to Columbus in the Final Four and were eventually defeated. But that was a fun team to watch that year.
So a little trivia with John Mark Young here tonight. Some Tigers trivia. So 02-03 the last time Mansfield Senior was blessed enough to go to the Final Four.
Rizzo's going to get a fast break here, and got to think she'd put it back in.
Looked like she kind of lost the handle actually a little bit there in midair, but Julia still able to drop it through the hole. And
St. Pete's making their impact. Kaya Wentz with a steal.
These St. Pete's players, you could definitely make the case, have been the strong point so far for Mansfield through the early going in 5 games. No wins yet for Mansfield Senior, but those 3 players, Mitchell, Wetz, and Rizzo, they've been solid just about every night.
They were well coached over at St. Pete's. Yeah, they're fundamentally strong and solid players. And again, yeah, that's just we got a good coach with Coach Huggins too now.
Quick trigger, Hillary finds the back iron, fighting for extra possession, but not getting it are the Tigers. So Ashland doing well on the boards here tonight, winning that battle. See if they can find some shooting from outside.
Another offensive rebound.
Imagine that here for Ashland, and they capitalize this time.
Gives the Arrows a 4-point lead.
Clara Paramore pushes the Arrows' advantage to their biggest of the night, 19-15, as we're past the midway point here of quarter number 2. And offense now starting to become a struggle a bit for Mansfield Senior. We'll see if Kirsten
there you go.
Can find something, and she will. She'll find the bottom 3 for the freshman.
Deep in the Pete Henry.
So Kirsten Bradley, super versatile player.
Nice move there.
And they go inside. Not able to finish over Bradley, though, was freezing. And the Tigers pushing the pace, as they always do. Rizzo's going to try one. Needed about 2 more feet.
Yeah, she's not been hot from the 3-point line, but she can shoot them. When we came here and scrimmaged them, she went 3 for 3 on 3 consecutive plays from the 3-point line. So she can hit that shot, just not falling tonight.
She's attempted the most triples so far this season for Mansfield Senior. That her 19th attempt, only shooting 20% though on the year. So Julia, of course, would love for that number to go up. She's going to check out right now as Amani Mitchell back into the mix here for the Lady Tigers.
Amani Mitchell, another player that sat out for St. Pete's last year with a knee injury, the knee brace, and back at it this year.
Mitchell, a junior forward, doing some nice work inside, defending right now on Friesen.
Good D.
And that's what White does. She is a defensive specialist. Tigers catch a break there as it ends up in the hands of Hillary, who off the drive takes the shot and called for a travel. Didn't necessarily see one myself, but we'll take the official's word for it.
I'm not sure if that was a focus of their rules meeting this year, but it seems like, yeah, they are quick to call the trigger on any sort of movement they see without a dribble.
Which I would say in years past that they would actually allow at the girls' game them to get away with it a little bit more. So I would agree from some of the covers that I've had this year, it does feel like there's been some quick whistles for traveling violations.
Boy, oh boy, there's more offensive rebounds, and Ashland able to capitalize on that one with a kind of weird, almost a soccer throw shot, but it found the bottom of the net.
It was Lily Poole, the freshman, dropping it in the pool right there. 2 points, her first 2 of the night. Mitchell
going to work, which is what she does best. Nice move.
She is a load inside, is Amani Mitchell. Got all the makings of a great post player, awesome footwork, and it's going to be a Lady Arrow turnover there. So Mansfield with a $1:16 to go gets Janiyah Hudgens into the game for the first time tonight. Sophomore guard. One of Javar's daughters, too. It's her own miss. White, wild shot. But how about the hustle?
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get it back in bounds, but you still got to dig that.
Tigers put the press back on, trying to create a quick turnover here.
Ashland only has about 3 more seconds to get it across, and they will do just that. 3 Lady Tigers all converge there onto McBride, and Mansfield fortunate, actually, that they didn't give up an easy look to Ashland, who turned it over again. Wentz misfires off the 3 ball, and now to play back over to Ashland. Arrows with an opportunity to hold for the final shot here of the half. They've got a 1-point lead and an opportunity to add to it. Oh, it's almost a 5-second call. I saw the referee had his arm up 4 times. That runner won't go for Bell, but guess what? Working the offensive glass are the Arrows.
Yeah, I was going to say I might try for 2 shots as well as their rebounding. Normally you hold it, but
Friesen was not able to capitalize on that 3, but that will take us to the end of 2, where it's been a very competitive game so far. It's Ashland on top, 21-20 through 16 minutes of action. We'll take a quick timeout, and we will be back with some halftime stats for you. Get you ready for half number 2. Keep it here live and free. Girls high school basketball on a Thursday night will return right after this.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game.
It's halftime here at Pete Henry Gymnasium, where Mansfield Senior trails by 1 point at the break. 21-20 is the Ashland Arrow lead as we take a look at the tail of the tape here, John Mark. And, offensive rebounds have been huge so far for Ashland. They've turned it over a bunch. However, they've stayed in the game and got themselves out to a mini lead here because they've got 10 offensive boards.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Huggins, I feel pretty good about this game as the Lady Tigers because I'm in the locker room saying, hey, rebounding is two things, girls. It is good positioning. Okay, you're not getting the right positioning, and it's hustle. You got to go out and attack the ball when it comes off the rim. And if we can fix those two things, you got to think with the way that Ashland's turning over the ball and the talent that we've got at senior high that this is a winnable game for us. So when we have 10 offensive rebounds in a half and we're still in this game, let's clean that up and let's go win this game.
Yeah, I think if you're both head coaches here in the locker room, you don't necessarily have to be pleased, but you have to be at least content where you're at in the game. You know, you're within striking distance. If you're Mansfield Senior, you just got to box out a little bit better, but their defensive pressure has been solid. Just got to get a few more shots to drop for the Tigers. It looked good for them in the first quarter, and then they had a bit of a drop off there in the second. Yeah.
They, they've got the offensive power to do it. They've just got to keep. You work to your strengths, work to what your team's good at, and with those two amazing guards that they've got and some good inside play, I'd like to see more of Amani Mitchell. Feed her the ball more. That girl, she touched the ball only a few times, but when she did, she was effective either with a kick out for a shot for one of the guards or working it inside. And this is shaping up to be a nice little game here.
Mansfield certainly seems at the offensive end like they have the advantage inside of the paint if they are able to get the ball in there and attack. But at the defensive side, boy, they have got to start doing some work on the glass if they want to collect their first win of the season. And, folks, we see you out there on the Facebook and the YouTube. We see the comments rolling in. So when we come back after this break, we are going to unleash the fan zone. Let's hear from you, the people of the OH Report, and see who's cheering for who and where you guys are all watching from. So drop us a line. Let us know, who do you want to win tonight, and how are you taking in tonight's game? Fan Zone is coming up right after this break.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game. We are out of the break. Both teams are on the floor, but what is that? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? I don't think so. It is Fan Zone dropping out of the sky on top of you folks. And how about Jane Ramsey cheering on the Lady Arrows? But Marcus Davis disagrees. He says, let's go TY. So I love the opposing fans out here. Another Lady Arrows fan, Garrett Vandergreen out there. Wants him to keep up the pace. Jennifer Snavely says, push it a little bit more, ladies. Let's go, TY. Love the crowns out there, too. Also wants to see him D up. Move them. Feet. Thanks, Jennifer. I'll pass that on to Javar, see if he can't implement it. Let's go, Lady Tigers, says Vince Diaz Jr. And back to Jane, who still is a Lady Arrows fan, so good stuff right there. Thanks for chiming in on our Facebook and our YouTube feed, and keep them coming, folks. We also have, I see somebody who just weighed in the comment section for one of us, so we'll save that for a little later on, perhaps. That's what we call a tease here in the biz, folks. All right, no more teasing. We've got some real third quarter action about to kick off here inside of Pete Henry.
Shout out to my guy Marcus Davis watching the game. Marcus, senior high graduate with me here for the TY Tigers, and pretty good athlete in his day back in the 01-02 era.
Such a great tradition, of course, for Tigers boys basketball, fourth winningest team in the state. Lady Tigers, no slouch themselves, going after victory number 590.
There you go, that St. Pete's connection. Kyle Wentz to Julia Rizzo, and Julia Rizzo got the bunny.
Wentz nearly came up with the interception. Arrows were able to track it down, though. That's Beverly. And now the three ball from the corner on the way. McBride can't hit. But the Tigers with a defensive rebound.
See if we can string a couple together. Coach Huggins would love that, coming out with some offensive power there. Nice behind the back by Hillary.
Boy, and she's just so smooth with that, too. As they get it inside, this is what we wanted to see.
Got a little tied up there.
Yeah, jump ball, but I like that they're feeding Amani Mitchell inside. And we see that there are some Mansfield Senior boys in attendance here, cheering on the ladies. Notice Shad Creamer there on the far left was our player of the game last week in a victorious contest for Mansfield Senior. And here comes Wentz off of the theft, but couldn't make it inside. She got all the way to the rim.
Coach Huggins was saying, Euro step that. She went straight at her, but away from the hoop, which makes it a much harder layup.
Off the tie-up there was another offensive rebound for Ashland, but Mansfield was at least able to converge, force the jump ball, and they've got the possession arrow. As Hillary walks it across the timeline, Ashland still matched up, man-to-man D. See how the Tigers elect to attack here. Rizzo off the pivot, has to kick it out. Mitchell spins. Mansfield maintaining some patience here as Hillary misfires. Offensive board to White. Aerial's clear. Looked like Ashland might have got away with the travel right there. But that's tipped out of bounds off of Ashland. So the Tigers get possession back.
Lily Poole coming back in for the Arrows, giving a little more size to take on, perhaps to match up with Amani Mitchell down low.
And with over 2 minutes gone by here, just 2 points so far have lit up the scoreboard here in this third period. That's excellent defense there by Audra McBride.
White with a steal right at the half court.
Sets it up wide open straight away.
Deep! Deep in the Pete Henry Gymnasium.
Second triple of the night for Kyle Wentz, and clap it up if you're a TY Tiger fan, as they've got the lead back.
Yeah, 5 points in the quarter, quick 5 points, and that's when you've only got 20 in the game, that's that helps. That was a not quite NBA three, Brian, but she was well behind the three-point line there and just drilled it straight on.
No defender in the picture, though. Nobody even close to Kaya. And as we mentioned, she's over 50% on the season from beyond the arc. So, yeah, might want to get a hand in her face.
That could have been why Coach Stimpert called a timeout, because that did not make her happy when Kaya was sitting out there wide open, nobody on her.
And certainly offense has been problematic for Ashland here in this third quarter, still looking to get on the scoreboard. And offense has been problematic for them all year, averaging under 40 points per game and only shooting 30% from the floor. So we were talking a little bit off record at halftime. Both of these teams, they seem like they have all the pieces to the puzzle to get some victories on the season, John Mark, but sometimes it just doesn't add up through the course of 4 quarters.
Yeah, and it could be that they're still learning what Coach Stimpert wants them to do offensively. You know, when you're in high school, you're obviously not a savant with any sort of any sort of offense, so it takes time to learn that stuff. And so if you're Coach Stimpert, you probably just want to see progress every single game here. Same with Coach Huggins, and both these teams desperate for that OCC win tonight.
And we're going to check in with a score from Seneca East and Upper Sandusky as we see a bucket right there by Rizzo. She's up to 7 on the game. And there is a live look in, and holy cannoli. How about 59-9, a 50-piece advantage right now for the Tigers, who I believe scored 100 on a team earlier in the year. So not going very well for the Lady Rams at home.
Yeah, Brian, we played Seneca East in the sectional final last year, and they are no joke. Got some big bodies down low that are hard to play with when you're in high school and can't match up well with that. And good guard play as well. So
got another tie-up. Possession arrow is going to stay down here. 3 Lady Tigers all set to check in. So we'll see a much different looking lineup here for Mansfield. And actually, how about 4 fresh players into the mix with
keeping
Gross,
the guard, Kaya out there, and everybody else getting a sit.
Here's a 3-ball unloaded from the corner, rims out. Arrows can't squeeze an offensive rebound. So here comes Wentz. Looking to make something happen off the screen from Brown. She's going to pull the trigger. Diving through the floor and securing the board is Brown. And a timeout taken by Coach Hudgens and the Tigers.
Yeah, not sure here, Brian, but perhaps Coach Huggins was just a mass substitution to get some better rebounding in there because, Brown there, she fought for that rebound and earned that, baby.
Victoria got the start here tonight, and they did get a couple of more bigger bodies into the game with Brianna Perry as well as Bradley in there. So you're right. This probably should be a much better rebounding unit that Mansfield has on the floor right now. Tigers right now with a 6-point cushion, and for Ashland, it's over 4 minutes off the clock here in the third. Have not yet scored. So the Tigers defense, you got to give credit to. They've forced quite a few turnovers, but Ashland has not capitalized either on their open looks.
Still searching for those first points in the third quarter here. Arrows are.
Quick trigger. Bradley comes up short, tipped out, and it's going to be taken by Bell. Paramore matched up with Brown. Looks to use the screen, and they switch off. Now Wentz picks her up. Inside, nice move. Not a good shot, though, from Beverly.
Victoria Brown with another rebound there, doing exactly what Coach Huggins wants her to do.
Pretty play there. Kirsten Bradley with the baseline drive. See if Ashland can match at the other end. It's going to be a travel. They cannot. So the turnover starting to pile up for Ashland now. What are we looking at, KP? Looks like 14 Ashland Arrows turnovers. And for Mansfield, starting to find a groove a little bit here offensively. I like the looks that they've been able to get certainly off the drives, and Gross is going to go to the line for 2 right here off the aggressive take.
Yeah, if you're Coach Huggins, you're loving the way that they came out offensively this quarter.
So Mansfield has scored all 10 points here in the third. Opportunity here to add to it. Gross, though, with a misfire from the line. Ashland going to mix things up. So they get a couple fresh bodies into the fold. Cheyenne Simmons checks in along with Audra McBride. And that time it's short, but Bradley able to squeeze a board. And she's going to try a 3-ball. Another opportunity here. Second time the charm for Kirsten. No go, but Perry with the offensive board. 4 looks for the Tigers, no buckets though. And at least a bell. Transition back the other way. Finally, the scoop shot ends the drought here for Ashland.
Kaya Wentz is going to try to transition. She's got almost everybody beat.
Whoa, coast to coast, close.
And all of a sudden, Brian, the rebounding problem is over with this lineup.
No question about that. Mansfield Senior doing some work in the paint. It's Bradley this time, the freshman, up to 8 points now on the night.
Couldn't hit any of the threes, so said, I'm coming inside to the paint and dropping it there. Able to convert.
And I feel like that's where Kirsten does most of her best work, is inside.
Coach Stimpert's arrows here, losing the grasp of the game a little bit here. They've got to get something going.
Off the drive, Gross stepped around everybody and able to funnel it through. Timeout taken by Coach Stimpert as her squad now trailing by a 10 spot. And what a huge third quarter performance this has been for Senior High.
Yeah, they've connected offensively, fixed the rebounding problem with this lineup that Coach Huggins has got in right now. If I'm Coach Huggins, I'm sticking. I know I've got my amazing guard Hillary on the bench, but this lineup's doing everything I need them to do.
So shaking up things for Javar, paying off up to this point. And what do you do now if you're Coach Stimpert? You've owned the glass up until about the last 3 minutes, but now the substitution lineups, maybe they're going to have to try to match and get some bigger bodies in the paint.
Yeah, that's I think why they got Lexi Poole in there earlier, or one of the Poole girls. It looks like there's 2 of them, sisters, playing for the team, for the Arrows. But yeah, you've got to get some offense. So I think you got to go back to Friesen, who's your main offensive threat. You've got to get the ball in her hands and let her get a shot up or get something inside because you are desperate for some offense right now if you're Ashland.
And actually out of the timeout, Mansfield switching up the roster out on the floor and picking up the foul. There is the TY Tigers. That's just their first foul, though, here in the third, and only 1 for Ashland. So neither team really in jeopardy of ending up in the bonus anytime soon.
Hillary back in for the Tigers to play the point there for Kaya Wentz.
Nice look inside. But off the kick out, the miss, offensive rebound for the Arrows. See what they do with this extra possession. Bell being harassed out on the perimeter right now. Nice defense by Daisy Mans. And another bump on the floor. This time it's against Brown, so 2 fouls in about 30 seconds here for Mansfield.
Mansfield Senior foul number 11, Victoria Brown. That's her first, team second.
Here's Plank off the drive, kicks it back up top to Bell. See Mansfield doing a nice job of the help defense.
Yeah.
So they're going to pick up a 3rd foul here in about 45 seconds, but you know, it's been tough for Ashland to drive on them.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're we call that a shell defensive drill. If you played basketball, you ran that drill, and they're running it perfectly. Great help side. If you're 1 pass away, you're protecting for that pass, and if you're farther than that, you're a help side defense, and they're doing a great job of it. Ashland not able to get anything inside.
Arrows check the clock. 30 seconds and counting now. in what's been a bit of a disastrous third period for them. And a 5-second count right there. How about fresh off the bench, Daisy Mans? Ton of energy out there on the perimeter, forces the turnover.
Yeah, Coach Huggins able to get a little deeper into his bench now and get some fresh legs out there, and that's it's good.
I think everybody now from Mansfield Senior has gotten into the mix. Matter of fact, everybody has played now for the TY Tigers, so what a benefit for Javar to be able to have such a deep team. As Hillary gets her shot blocked there just before the horn. Plank got a hand on it, and that's going to take us to the end of 3 where Mansfield Senior, the Tigers, can they smell that first victory? I think so. We'll see if they can hang on in quarter number 4. We'll be right back. Live and free high school basketball rolls along right after this.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Are back, and we have got fourth quarter action for you live and free on the OH Report. That's the only way we know how to do it here, of course. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined tonight by John Mark Young, and it looks like Mansfield Senior picking it up here in the second half at home. Though Rizzo off the drive had it blocked, but you can just sense that this Tiger team, man, they're 0-5. Dang it. They want a victory.
Let's get it. Let's get it. They nobody was more excited to see that third quarter end than Coach Stimper. That was not good for the Arrows, and the Lady Tigers did everything they needed to do. They rebounded. They got some offensive shots up that fell in, and now it's just hold the lead, contain, and do the same thing you just did.
Great offense here by Ashland. It won't result in the bucket, though. Beverly had a good look, but no surprise here. Ashland with the second possession, 3 balls short. And collected by Mans, who's fouled about 100 feet away from the basket. It's going to go against Plank. Just the second team foul, though, against the Arrows.
Yeah, what you typically see in girls basketball is a lot of pressure on the ball, a lot of presses and whatnot. Ashland not doing that here tonight, but Lady Tigers have been successful with it quite a bit, but nothing for AU or Ashland.
Nice footwork inside Mitchell. Didn't get enough behind the shot attempt, though. And it looks like she's going to pick up the personal. She felt as though she got a clean tie up there. And you had mentioned that Coach Stimper couldn't get that third quarter over fast enough. 13-2 is what they were outscored by there on our My Mechanics scoreboard. Just 2 points in 8 minutes for Ashland.
Yeah, can't have too many of those if you're going to win a game.
We'll see if Ashland's able to overcome it. They will need a big fourth quarter.
There's that ball pressure I'm talking about, Brian. Put some ball pressure in girls basketball. It usually works out well for you if you can do it well. Senior high does it well. Daisy Mans with a 3-point shot that
it's like some side spin on that
one.
Yeah,
a little wide.
Back the other way, pulling up. The triple won't fall for Paramore. And rebound to Mans. You know Kaya with the 1-on-3 is going to take it. She is a bull, always going to the tin. Too strong. Rizzo with the board, and she's got the stick back. Julia Rizzo now 9 points, leads Mansfield Senior, who've got a balanced scoring attack going tonight. Mitchell with the big swat. Now, of course, was clean for her, but must have been a foul down low, and it is. It's going to go against Janiyah Hudgens.
Chance for the Arrows to get some easy buckets here with the free throws.
I don't believe they converted a free throw in the first half. Still haven't made one, as that's misfired there by Audra McBride.
Lily Poole coming back in the game for the Arrows to give the Arrows a little bit of size down low.
And every opportunity to get points for Ashland, of course, big, as they will get one of two right there. Tigers break the pressure easily. Now Kirsten Bradley fouled on the floor. And I see that we've got some more comments rolling in here on the Facebook, so we will get prepared for some more fan zone action probably the next time that we get a timeout. Bradley has to pick it up in the corner. Rizzo comes out, bails her out.
To Kaya White, getting some good positioning down low. She's fighting for it. Now got the good positioning on the rebound. I like that. Like you said, Brian, she's a defensive specialist, but that's because she's hustles.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds from Mansfield. Sets this up. Wentz from outside. Won't fall, but how about White securing another offensive board? Kaya again, and she banks it.
Brian, when you're shooting 50%, the second one's got to go in, right? It's the law of statistics.
Numbers never lie, John Mark, and it's 11 points now for Kaya, leading everybody so far in tonight's game and doing it on the defensive end too. She's got the tie-up. Possession arrow will stay down here. But Ashland's starting to run out of time. 5:05 to play, and Mansfield with their biggest lead so far in the game, 14 points.
Brianna Perry, the senior, coming back in, and Hillary, the freshman. Subbing the St. Pete's Rizzo and Mitchell out.
Going inside. And now the kick out. Block shot there by Kaya. Mike and drill from Friesen won't fall. And here's Perry. Fouled on the arm. I think it's going to go against Kaylee Friesen.
Yeah, Friesen saw that the big got the ball and thought she could strip the ball back away. But Perry's she's a good big. She's been here for a while and knows how to play basketball. She's not going to give it to you that easily.
Ashland now coming with a full court man-to-man. And I think they're going to get a turnover. Yep. Hillary dribbled it off of her own leg. Key possession here for the Arrows, just for their confidence. And here's Kaya Wentz. Picks it off. Coming back the other way. Layup. We've seen that so many times from her tonight.
Yeah.
She's been able to get right to the basket, but can't finish with the right hand. We've seen this too, though, straight away. This time a miss.
She's shooting better from the three-point line than the layup line right now.
Well, that's actually true for her on the season, ironically, I think.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Huggins, I'm teaching her the Euro step or some sort of finishing move, because if she could convert on those, you've got another 10 points in this game.
Kaya sends it back over to Bradley. Pull-up jumper, and she's going to get fouled in the act. Bell from the backside, the junior, caught her in the motion of shooting. And I believe the ball just struck our camera, John Mark. Don't these girls know to protect the equipment?
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes the money. You can't be turning those off. Otherwise, you and I are going to radio.
So we may be bringing it to you live and free tonight, but might be a chunk out of old Dad's pocket. We'll see if the camera survives. Looks like our camera guy, Carson, has a concerned look on his face. We'll check back in on the camera a little bit later for you folks. Little injury update. Just about at the midway point here of the fourth. Kirsten cannot convert at the free throw line. Gross is going to check into the mix, sending Kaya Wentz over to the bench. Just so many faces, different faces, getting some minutes here for Coach Hudgens and the Tigers. And here's Gross, who just got in, already forcing a tie-up.
Maybe giving Coach Huggins a little bit of confidence as you go through the season here to keep those legs fresh and use that bench, because they've proven tonight that they. I think back to the third quarter when everybody but Kaya went out, and that lineup dominated on the glass and put up some points.
And I think this is a similar lineup right now, as they've got Perry, Brown, and Bradley all playing in the paint. So 3 forwards on the floor. And, you know, in 2021, of course, it's such a guard-oriented game, or at least on the perimeter. And look at all the players right now packing into the paint for the Tigers. Just a little bit different look. Bradley with the blow-by. Friesen, I think, got a piece of the basketball. So here come the Arrows. Plank with the rock. They go inside. Poole bumped by Perry. And the freshman Poole has drawn the 16th foul against Mansfield Senior. So one more and they will be in the bonus.
Nice job by Brina Plank on the inbound there to direct traffic. Couldn't find a shot and got some people moving around to get the ball inbounded.
Now they're going down low. Friesen missed it. Poole got her back somehow. There's a lid on it here for Ashland in the second half. They cannot seem to score.
Yeah, there's a little soccer action there. Shout out to my guy Steven Armstrong, who you've done some games with. One of the great soccer coaches in this area, only state champion for the boys' side in the area. He'd like to see that kick if he were watching. He probably is watching.
Great to have coach watching if he is. And I see another coach for Mansfield Senior on the football side just chiming in on our Facebook, letting us know the Tigers got the juice. Thanks, Sean Adams. He can sense it. He wants to see a Tigers win here tonight. And, boy, their percentage got to be real high to pull out that first victory. 14-point cushion, only 3 minutes to go, and Ashland, 14 points for them. I mean, that's like a lifetime the way that they've been shooting right now.
Yeah, especially the second half. Only 3 points, I believe, in the second half. A field goal or a free throw in this fourth quarter is all they've got.
Bradley cannot hit the jump shot. So the board to the Arrows.
Senior high doing a great job of cutting off that transition game, just getting back quickly defensively, and nothing for the Arrows.
They're going to get a chance for 2 points here. Would have loved to have Plank see that one drop with an opportunity for the three-point play. But at least the good news, if you're an Ashland fan, is no time coming off the clock. Chance to eat a little bit off of this deficit. But the free throw line has not been kind to Ashland at all tonight. Brina, a 7.5 point per game scorer. Hasn't done much offensively. 4 points tonight, but nobody's really got it going tonight for the Arrows at the offensive side. 0 for 2. Poole, offensive board, and again, there's got to be an invisible lid over that cup.
It just refuses to fall for Ashland.
Another spin out. Offensive glass work again, but man, you got to be kidding me. Friesen right there, point blank range. Took the bump, and we'll get a chance for 2 free throws, but I think that was 4 shots right there in the matter of about 10 seconds for Ashland, and, of course, none of them touching the net.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Stimpert, back to practice tomorrow, and I'm working on, with my posts, a lot of mic and drill stuff, getting that, with all those offensive rebounds, Ashland's in this game if they can convert those, but they just have not been able to put those back in.
Friesen misses the first one short. And Kaylee, whoa. Got a point here for Ashland. That has been rare here in the second half. So it makes the lead for Mansfield a baker's dozen. And now it's all about getting stops if you're the Arrows. Got to come up big at the defensive side. And that'll help. Gross called for the travel off the drive.
Tigers with a press again. If I'm Ashland, that's what I'm going to. Try to create some turnovers. Especially with this younger lineup in for the Tigers.
Senior forward has to do the handling to get it across the timeline. Pull-up jumper. Rims out. Brown Sky's up for the board. Looks like she got fouled. It'll be the 7th team foul against Ashland, so we'll send Victoria to the line for a 1-and-1. So Mansfield Senior has been so close this year at tasting victory. It appears that they are going to get victory number 1 of the 2020-21 campaign here tonight.
It sure does feel good when that number 1 is also a conference win, so it gets you on the board on the conference too.
Ashland's only win coming in conference so far this year. They were able to knock off Worcester back in December by 4. The Arrows outside of that, they've had one really tough game against Norwalk where they lost by 4. Everything else has been a double-digit loss or worse, and it looks like that trend probably going to continue here on the road at Pete Henry.
The Worcester Generals beat the Lady Lex the other night, so you got to think that there's a path for Ashland to be more competitive in this in the OCC, and they were competitive tonight, Brian, just in the first half, though. Couldn't do anything this second half.
That's right. If you're joining us later, didn't catch any of the first half action, it was actually the Lady Arrows with a 1-point cushion, 21-20. And as you can tell by the scoreboard, they have not been able to do anything offensively since. Just one field goal made by Ashland in 15 minutes of gameplay here in the second half and a couple of free throws. And they've got okay looks. Quite a few offensive rebounds have led to some second chance opportunities, but just the bottom has not been there at all, John Mark.
Yeah.
Free throw shooting has been problematic for both teams actually in this game. Tigers have not tasted much success at the charity stripe, but man, when it rains, it pours, and that's going to be another Ashland turnover.
Yeah, again, if I'm Coach Stimpert, I'm not too pleased with the way we've played, but I'm also thinking these are fixable things. These are things that we can fix, and especially that first half with all those offensive rebounds. Nice steal there by Ashland, and it put back, and there we go. Much needed offense.
Brina Plank with the steal and the layup. And it is just an 11-point game, so even though Ashland has only scored 6 points in this half, Tigers not running away with it by any means. But Ashland would need some crazy circumstances to start piling up here if they want to knock off the Tigers. We're going to get a timeout. I think that's our first timeout here of the second half is taken by Mansfield Senior and Coach Hudgens. And I'll check in with our production crew. Do we have time maybe for Fan Zone? One more time. Oh, we do. And look, it's Garrett Vandergreen back in there. He says, keep your head up, Lady Arrows. Vince still cheering on those Tigers, and Justin Fields, who's going to get to play for a national championship on Monday night. Jane Ramsey cheering us on. And there's Sean Adams, who I alluded to, saying Tigers got the juice. And look like KP's family member of some sort. KP's mom chiming in. So there's Jennifer Peace cheering on her daughter here tonight with some cool emojis too. So Mrs. Peace, definitely a hip lady out there making those scene. There's Brittany liking what she sees from number 23. Go Bradley. Keep it up, Lady Tigers. Sarah Fideli, that's what she thinks. Still wants them to keep it up, and she's got some sweet emojis too. She can taste that first dub now, I'm sure, here at this point as we're down to just a minute to go. And Garrett still wants to see a strong finish from those Arrows. They did just get a bucket and a steal. See if they can string together a couple of nice plays here.
There's that full court press that I was saying, hey, I know the Arrows got it in them. The 5-second call.
And that's perfect situation here for Ashland. No time comes off the clock, and none will again, and they're going to go to the free throw line. You can tell it's a young Tiger team that's not accustomed to closing out games.
Yeah, they need to finish this one, and they're letting Ashland hang around here a bit. Got an injury with number 20, one of the pool girls, the freshman. She went down weird on her ankle.
Helped over to the sideline, so perhaps that could be of benefit here to Coach Stimper. Get your best free throw shooter into the game for. That person's going to be Clara Paramore. So a chance to get this thing down to single digits, actually, for Ashland. We'll see if that lid's still on that hoop. Came up short. Never gave it a chance. The rebound to Gross. Chucks it forward, but fouled before she did.
That's a good foul by Ashland because she's wide open on the other side of the court. That would have been an easy layup for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, Hudgens was out there on the leak out. So Tanasia has been to the free throw line a few times tonight. See if she can get comfortable here. Get a chance for 2 shots as Tigers now in the double bonus, and the stroke just doesn't look confident right now for Gross.
Yeah, she's not straight on, just not a little long on that one. Kaya Wentz bringing back the D. Good D there.
Inside, Friesen with the left hand.
Single digits now, Brian.
And off the tip.
There's that press with a steal. Ooh.
Oh, but a double dribble called against Ashland.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Stimpert, that's when I play the TY Tigers again, I'm bringing that press earlier. Last 2 times they've run it, 5-second call and a turnover right there. If we could have handled the ball, if they could have handled the ball, they're back in business offensively.
Nice defense there by Poole. Didn't get her head around though. Now Wentz still in attack mode. She's got the scoop shot. Won't fall though, and a rebound to Friesen.
A little far out to try the scoop. We had a player last year that loved to scoop, and she would scoop from the 3-point line if she could.
I think Friesen's going to get 2 shots. She will. It's going to be a shooting foul. And if she can make these both, it amazingly will be just a 7-point game. I think it just might be too little too late for Ashland here. The desperation, you can tell it's set in. But they needed this about 2 minutes earlier in the game. Kaylee misses the free throw. I see Renee just put her head down. Coach Thimpert just, man, very few made free throws on either side here.
Yep, they call it the charity stripe for a reason, and it has not been charitable tonight.
Wentz got pushed in the back, so she'll go to the free throw line. 2 shots coming up for Kaya, who's got a big smile on her face. Has played a pretty nice game here. Had a few ill-advised shots, you might say, but she's also cashed in for 11 points. Top scorer for Mansfield Senior.
Going to help the Lady TY Tigers get to that number 591 career victory in the history of the TY Tigers. And while it's not a TY Tiger trivia, Brian, there's a local girls basketball team that's in the top 10 in the state for all-time wins. Can you name that team? A girls basketball team that's in the top 10 in wins all-time in the area.
My gut tells me that team might be Mansfield St. Peter's.
That is absolutely correct. Nice job from back in the day where they were making run after run after run after run to the at least deep in the tournament, sometimes to the Final Four. They are we get our girls basketball magazine every year, and they list the top 10 teams in terms of wins, and Mansfield St. Peter's is one of those teams, although not going to add to that total this year, unfortunately.
Vicariously a bit, they can live through Kaya and Mitchell and, of course, Rizzo too.
Maybe Coach Shoulders can, there for the Spartans, can claim a .25 victory every time the TY Tigers get a victory.
Little quarter victory for him.
Got a couple of his girls out here.
I think it's only fair. They make up 3/5 of the starting lineup. So the last 3 seconds just need to come off the clock. And they will, and it's going to be a Mansfield Senior victory. Wasn't pretty for the Tigers at times, but they do come away with a 39-30 dub, the first of the young season here for Mansfield Senior, as they are now 1-5 overall. We will take a timeout. When we come back, we will line up a post-game interview with our player of the game. We're going to have to decide who that was, John Mark. I think Kaya certainly deserves to be in the mix. I don't know. Let us know what you think. Weigh in on the comment section. Let us know who you think is worthy of our player of the game. We'll also have some final stats and wrap things up here from Pete Henry Gym, so keep it with us. Post-game action will roll along live and free on the OH Report in just a moment.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game.
We are back with our player of the game, sophomore guard. Kyle Wentz is joining me right now. Superb performance for you here tonight. You did a nice job of handling the pressure, took some nice shots, knocked down some threes. But what's most important, you got that dub, Kaya. How good does that feel to finally get off the schneid here?
It definitely feels great. We've been going in games and trying our best. We just haven't fallen, but this game it fell and we got it.
Tell me about your role on this team. You come over, of course, you're going to St. Peter's School. You're getting in the mix with the Tigers. How has this whole transition gone for you, and how do you feel being in the mix and, you know, being a starter for this squad?
It feels great being a starter. It feels great being with this team. I mean, I am upset that I can't play with St. Pete's, but it is what it is. At least I got to play a season today, and it feels great being in with these girls. We have a good connection. We have great teamwork and stuff, so it's great.
You've got a really deep team. I think everybody got into the game tonight. Does it feel for you like it's just a matter of time before this team starts clicking? Because, of course, you lost the 2 weeks when you guys were in quarantine. A lot of teams are dealing with that, but you girls especially, you're just getting started, it seems like.
Yeah, we're just getting – I feel like those were the warm-up games, like getting to know each other, how we play and stuff, play on the court. So this is the start of a great season.
Tell me about you personally playing in the NBC last year, coming up playing in the OCC, going against some bigger schools, getting to see some different looks. What has this transition been like?
It's definitely different because from a smaller school, there was like the game was definitely slower, and this is so much faster. Like I wasn't prepared for how much faster the game was going to go. In the first game I played, I was winded. I could barely breathe.
All right, well, hey, superb performance for you tonight, leading the Tigers in scoring, and you get the dub. How are you going to celebrate this victory?
Hang with my friends.
What else, right?
Yeah.
All right, our player of the game, Kaya Wentz. Once again, congratulations. Actually, any last words? You want to give a shout-out to anybody before you go?
My teammates, I guess. Yeah, and my mom. She's great.
All right, so shout out to Mrs. Wentz, of course, and then the TY Tigers faithful. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. We'll have some final stats and wrap things up from Pete Henry. Stay tuned.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game.
It is bonus interview time, and everybody loves a winner. Javar Hudgens, winning coach tonight for the TY Tigers. And just tell me, man, it looks like, there's a lot of relief here, something off of your shoulders. How good does the win feel?
Really, really good, really good. The girls need to see that they can win, you know what I mean? And when they get a win, I think we can build off that energy heading into Saturday to Tri-Way.
Defensively, obviously, you guys were great there in the second half. You held them to 2 points in the third. They got a few buckets at the end when the game was pretty much out of reach. What do you think was the difference for your girls at the defensive end?
Closing out on the three-point. I've been stressing close out on the three-pointer. We've been giving away a lot of open uncontested three-pointers, and in girls basketball, girls hit threes. Like, that's the best. That's like one of the top shots that's shot in girls basketball. And we've been giving that up. We took that away in the second half.
And then you went really deep into your bench. I believe everybody played. Everybody contributed to Javar. So with all these different collection of talent that you have, it just seems like it's just a matter of time because you've only had a couple of weeks practice. This team just needs a few more practices and some games to gel. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, we aren't able to practice due to the COVID, the quarantine that we had, so we're stuffing all of our games. So we're at 3 games a week now. So we're play a game, walk through, play a game, walk through, play a game. So that's going to be our schedule for the next 3 or 4 weeks until playoffs start. So we're not able to do much practicing and much conditioning or any of that. So
you have to get in game shape in the games.
During the game. That's what I told them in the locker room. I said, this is our conditioning. We practice 2-3 hours a week, a day, and then I need that full energy 32 minutes. And typically most girls aren't playing 32 minutes, So if you can give me 24 minutes full go, that helps the team,
And especially with this team, a lot of girls getting minutes here tonight. So, again, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Just the first of what we think is probably going to be many to come with this group, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Javar Hudgens got the win here tonight. Let's throw it up now to John Mark Young standing by. He's got the final stats.
All right, thanks, Brian. Awesome game here tonight for the Lady TY Tigers, able to get their first win, and they did it on an amazing second half. So let's look at some of those stats that they've got here, Brian, for the Lady TY Tigers. So one of the things that stands out to me, 11 field goals, 4 threes, a lot of those coming from Kaya Wentz. 3 of those coming from Kaya?
Sounds right.
Tonight. 3 free throws. Got to get better there. So not a lot of time to practice, as Coach Huggins says, but you got to get that fixed a little bit there. 31 rebounds, 18 turnovers, and 14 fouls. On the other side, the Lady Arrows, 8 field goals, 3 threes. That's where they struggled, getting that offensive production done. 2 free throws, 37 rebounds. You got to be happy about that if you're Coach Stimpert. 22 turnovers, got to work on that, and 11 fouls for the Lady Arrows.
So I guess my top takeaway from tonight is that Mansfield Senior is a very deep team. They're still trying to figure out maybe some of the best lineups to throw out there, but they can be versatile. They can mix and match. They went big tonight, and it helped them build that big lead in the third quarter. At other times, they went small, and they got good production from their guards. And for Ashland, it seems like it's a team that was competitive tonight. They've got nice pieces at some of the key positions, but man, oh man, they just got to make shots.
Yeah. Sometimes you watch a team and you say, they're just not ready yet. They're just not there. Both these teams tonight, you could say, if you fix this and you fix that, you're a pretty solid team there. So like Coach Huggins said, there's not a lot of time to go to the drawing board and work on stuff when you're playing game after game after game because you were locked out the first half of the season. But there are certainly things that they can work on, and if they get those fixed, I like both of these teams. I think they can both make some noise in the OCC this year where there's not a clear-cut favorite with Worcester or West Holmes not dominating.
So for Ashland, they dropped to 1-8 with the loss here tonight. Mansfield Senior improves to 1-5 as they get their first win of the season. Appreciate all you guys watching out there in Facebook and YouTube land and weighing in with all the comments, and want to thank our incredible staff for making the game possible here tonight. All of our camera people, including Jory Hollenbeck, who is behind the camera that you're looking at right now. Down on the floor, we had Zach Finley, along with Carson Kennedy. Adam Thompson is our fabulous producer. This is John Mark Young. I'm Brian Skoronsky, and this is our new intern. This is KP Peace, saying Peace out for now. See you on a live stream near you real soon.
Oh, wait.
Real soon. Tomorrow. Report.